Hey guys, this is Danny, and I wanted to introduce you to my new script, which is called nExXxT. I'm just going to go through all the settings and tell you what it does, but how you use it is kind of up to you. It's a pretty versatile thing. So at the end, I've got a video that was created by my friend Pete Sasqwax that shows a basic usage using Koala. But before then, let's go through all of the settings. So when you load it up, you'll see that it's got 4 groups enabled. You can have up to 8, and they're essentially individual. So each one is a cycle group. And what this script does is it goes through a number of steps that you specify starting on a particular note or CC. It passes the velocity of the incoming note or pad. So in Mozaic, if you hit a pad in the center, it's at 127, and then as you get closer to the edges, it becomes less loud. So if you're using incoming MIDI, it takes velocity from the incoming MIDI, and then it passes that through to either the CC value or the note velocity that's coming through. So you can have up to 8 groups, and you can set them to channel 1 to 8, or if you go all the way on the channel knob, it sets them to be spread across 8 channels, which will make them easier to set your groups to different like synths or endpoints, depending on what you want it to do. So the length of the note specifies how long the note sounds. I'll demonstrate that quickly here. So that's inaudible. And regardless of how long I press the button, it's doing it at the length of the knob. So every step will be equal length. Now, if you go all the way up on this knob, it uses incoming MIDI. So if I hold a button, it'll be the same as holding a keyboard note. So this can actually be controlled by incoming MIDI. So if you go to set, in this case, the keyboard, but you can use any sequencer to feed MIDI information into Mozaic, then on note 48, it will be this first bar, first cell, and then subsequent notes will do the next cells. So if I just go to 1 and it's on 48, if I hit 48, it's the same as hitting the pad. And then the rest don't do anything, but if I then enable them. So what it's doing is it's stepping through from note 60, which is the start point. If I click reset, if you click reset under any group, click shift to go back to global settings. Let me get a couple more cells up. If I click shift, it goes to global. If you click reset on any group, it goes to that group settings. So in this case, it's starting on note, let's say 44. On this one, we'll start at note 87. And then I go shift global, bring it back down to 2. So now I've got, and so you'll notice it does 16 steps and then goes back to the first step. So you can reset to go back to step 1, which means note is 44 and the next hit is going to be 44. And then it goes up. So if you press reset on that, and then the number of steps, obviously, it goes up to 64 because Pete Sasqwax wanted to potentially use this script to round robin like an entire Koala instance. So look out for more mad videos from him on how he's been discovering to use this script. But he did send me a short video, which I'll put at the end of this, which will show a basic usage in Koala, which is really cool. But yep, it can go down to 1. So if you have it on 1, it will just repeat the same note. If you have it on 2 or 3, it does that. So as you see at the bottom on the reset button, it says forward on it as well. So if you change the direction, you can make it go backwards. And you can also set it to go random. So it will just randomly select notes. The MIDI type changes it from note information to CCs. So obviously you won't hear anything, but if you want to say automate a mixer, then you will need to send the instance into the MIDI control as you would with any automation in AUM. And then here you will see, if you hit that on the top right, that's another way of accessing that exact same thing. So if I turn that off and turn this on, you'll see that here it's rerouted that. So it's actually a global thing that's essentially the same thing. So I'm going on channel 1, and this is listening for CC7. So to demonstrate this, I'm going to put this down to 1 step, and I want it to start on CC7. So that means it's repeating 7. And you'll see now that as I hit it on the corner, so it's sending through the velocity as CC value. So in the center, it's going to pretty much 100%. And then as I go down to the corners, this is how Mosaic creates velocity. So it goes to the bottom around the edges. So if you use a sequencer and send it different velocity values using a sequencer, you'll see that it will start doing a p-locking type effect. And then if you have more than one step, then you can start having one group affect a whole bunch of different CC knobs when it gets round to it. But for now, let's put it back to note. And it's because it's on number 7 and this is out that you won't hear anything. So that's pretty much everything you need to know. MIDI type, start, steps, direction, and then press shift, it goes back to global settings. So I'm going to cut now to Pete's demonstration and put some notes on the screen that just kind of highlight what is happening. I hope you find the script useful, and if you do, consider subscribing to the channel. And I've set up a little buymeacoffee.com/funksmyname link if you feel like buying me a coffee. Do that there, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.